Hello, and welcome to an apology about the small delay. Sorry about the small delay. I had to quickly finish something off. So, hello. Second part of having a look at Polaris, a route by Slovak Eagle. It's available on the DLS if you're interested. And Slovak Eagle may or may not join me in voice chat. We'll see. But he is watching the stream, which he said. So, hello Kango Fango. Welcome. How's your day been going? Well, you looked shocked, then you gasp, and then you cough, and then you have a giggling fit, and then you say hi. Okay, so probably going very well for you then. Hello, there you are. Welcome. So Eagle, we're going to have a look at quite a good route today. It's called Polaris. I think you might like it. It's on the DLS if you want to have a look. Okay, so this is session 3. So here we are. That is the wrong one, the small one. There we go. Right. So, yeah, it's already loaded. Good. I need to switch over the audio still. There we are. So, hey, welcome back. Happily exclaimed Francis. Yes, because this has a lot of character stuff in it. If you want to go back and watch the first part, it's on the YouTube channel, so yes. Hector, I will need you here now. He continued. Thomas, I will need you to run your first proper job. Can you take the gondolas up the main line? Oh, sorry, can you take the gondolas up to the main? Load them up and bring them back here. We need to supply the power plant. Yeah, because Thomas is the main character. So he wants us to take the gondolas and fill them up and then bring them back for the power plant. Sure thing, I should be able to find the place now. Yeah, I'll just follow the nav markers, it'll be fine. Yeah, just head up to Nunavik and take the first left. You will probably have to switch some junctions yourself. Also, watch out for Boris. He's taking a passenger train from Nunavik. You two should meet at Chilcote. So, hurry up and make sure you get there first. Hello, Miki, welcome. This is part 2 of having a look at a route called Polaris, which is made by Slovak Eagle in chat, and the route is available on the DLS. How are you? Yeah, Thomas is the protagonist and player. So is the character name Thomas T. Engine? No, Slovak Eagle made it clear last time that it was not inspired by that at all. Alright, thank you. Good. The teleporter seems to work quite well. Good. Glad to know that that's operational still. Doing good. Good. Okay, so let's collect the gondolas. Gondolas? Which one is the water one? I always get those two confused. Gondola is, I think, this one, and gondola is the water one, right? Or is it the other way around? I'll try not to derail anything this time. I believe it's correct. Yeah, good. I hope that is correct. There we go. Turn around. Good. Leave Northport. Or just call them gons. Or I could call them open plan wagons. I'm guessing we don't have a caboose or anything like that, because cabooses wouldn't... Actually, there are some cabooses there. Huh, we don't have a caboose. Eagle, are cabooses still in use by this time? Because I can clearly see some over here on the siding. Sorry about the performance. When I'm streaming, it tends to lag a little. But why don't I have a caboose? Or are those cabooses just for show? Or maybe are the cabooses only for unfitted trains or something like that? Walled open top flat cars. Yes. Day's been going very good. Thanks. Fully enjoyed the start of the new STA campaign. Great. Days. Great work on the GMing and setting. Thank you. Would love to see televised. It's like actors and all that. Cabooses only on some trains due to not enough employees. Ha. Well, that seems like a reasonable place to cut some corners. Who needs additional braking? Okay, so if you want to see the map, this is where we're currently at. And by the looks of things, we're going to go up to here and then back down. If I can zoom in, there we go. Should I restart it beforehand? Because of what? Looks pretty though, yes. Bit of lag. Well, that's just me streaming plus this amount of baseboards here. It's just the sheer amount of them, I think. But yeah, if I stopped streaming now, it would run much smoother. But then you wouldn't see the gameplay, so... Quite wobbly, I see. The new bit of the Haddon-Cott tramway also has some wobbly bits on it. 4, 5, 5, 7. The Flying Scotsman. No, that's the wrong number for the Flying Scotsman. It's a reference to a song. How heavy is this train? Wait until 419 tons unloaded. Okay. How happy is this train? Very, I'd imagine. Happy? Okay, we're about to crest, So we need to be ready with the brakes. Ah, this curve is super elevated, I believe. It looks like it, yeah. Ah, and there's one of the roads down there. And they don't even have Freds either. They just have Fred hanging onto the rearmost car, waving a red glassed bullet eye lantern. Wouldn't that be a word? A word? Waving rear end device? A word? 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 Oh right, there's the bit with the waterfall again. Very nice. Could I take a sample of that? Yeah, waterfall sample, I know. I never did figure out what it was a sample of. I'm assuming payware assets. But I can't remember ever finding where those payware assets were from or anything like that. Ah, yes, this is definitely super elevated. Look at that. They just duct tape a flashlight with a red lens on top of the rear coupler of the last car. Oh, you mean sample of the sort of stuff used for that route? Perhaps. There's a 60 coming up, or maybe we're coming down towards it, who knows. Yeah, the snow drifts across here do look very nice. And it would look even better if I could turn on the parallax textures. Because these are PBR textures, and so you actually have the 3D snow drifts over the tracks and things like that. The ice as well, because Slovak Eagle actually did a very clever thing with this in with parallax textures turned on, because the ice has divots in it. Like I think the ridges are a bit higher up than the rest or something like that. And he set the water level to the same height so that you can actually see a little bit of glimmering of water and a little bit of texture, and then like the pattern. And so it actually looks like ice that's reflecting. I've had to move the water level down a little bit because for performance reasons on my Mac, I can't run that with parallax textures on, really. So I've had to move the water level down a little bit, but because it was just flickering, but it's a good effect nonetheless. And it's not PBR. Well, but it has parallaxing though. So I thought if it's for parallaxing, then that means it is PBR, or can it also have parallaxing even if it is not PBR? Yeah, that's what I meant. The snow, the parallax textures going over the tracks. Wigwags, yes. Funny thing is, that actually didn't start off the joke about waterfall sample. It just came to me while I was typing sample with the context of the waterfall when I had thought of it. Alright. I mean, it does have parallax, but it does not have a height map. I see. Hello, welcome. We're doing a little bit more on Spervic Eagle's Polaris route, which is on the DLS if you want to have a look yourself. Okay, and there's a 30 up there. So it is a classic texture, compatible with PBR textures, as in it does not make a weird transition bug problem visual glitch. I see. Perfect, we're on until 5:30, the charity stream. Ah. AM. Glad to hear. Good. €1,300 raised. Oh, well done. Okay, so we're just continuing through here, passing Spot Island. Okay, so that has a right arrow there. Does that mean that it's already switched correctly for me to turn off? Or do I need to switch the points manually? Well, theoretically I should be able to see it from the cab. Like, because the switch stands have the red and green lights, or yellow and green lights. So I should be able to see how the switch is switched. It's finally able to join. The odds computer had to update to the software. Oh, I see. Oh wow, those telegraph poles have long poles on them. Sup, I'm back. Good, good. I can't see the switch stand yet. There we go. Ah, but actually I don't, since it's a Y, well, since it's okay, it's set correctly, good. So since it doesn't have a standard straight path, I actually don't know what that means. It could mean either. But I suppose I could have just looked at the mesh of the tracks to see which way it switched, because it's a procedural track. I can't see the switch stand, yet I sense it approaching rapidly. Eek! It would be funny if Eagle had switched out those signs on a session, like with a bound layer, and just written something else on the sign, just as a joke. Just one session, just on using bound layers. Use the force, like Luke. Yeah. Like, use the force, Scoob. Yes. I believe I made the switches actually point the lights correctly, but not sure. Do not trust that. Ah, good thing to point out. Why doesn't Shaggy use 1% of his power? Well, if you only used 1% of your power, then you would also barely do anything. Of course everybody uses more than 1% of their power. Thanks, I shall retract my trust from them. Interesting accent there, Kango. Where, why, and how did that joke start? I have no idea. I hope the bridge is gonna load in at some point. There we go. Now it's loading in. Oh, do you not know the Shaggy's level of power mean? I do not. I have heard of it, but I don't know it. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Enter the siding, okay. So I'm going to actually slow down a bit, because I'm actually going too fast. There we go. I don't think I got any points subtracted for that. I think I just about managed it. I noticed something on the UK transport do. Although the trains correctly run on the road vehicles. Yes, I know. The road vehicles do still run on the right. I know that there is a right-hand traffic mod, but I tried that out, and I tried to place some of the custom bus stop assets, and it just crashed the game. That mod just isn't stable, unfortunately. Plus, most of the bus mods that I have actually do have their doors on the right side. So I decided to just leave the right side traffic. I know it's not optimal, but there's not really much I can do about that. Ah, look, it looks like the buildings are thawing out slowly. Yeah, there's a mod that adds left path traffic, but I don't believe it's really compatible with any other road mods. Not sure though, never tried myself, blah blah blah. Not blah blah blah, but I'm just skimming through it. Yeah. Yeah, okay. And I did think about adding the cargo trams as well for last stream, but I just didn't have the time to test whether that mod actually works properly with the other mods that I have. So I didn't have a chance. But it's still on my... It's still on the table. I can't actually show you, but it's there, like right there. Like a cargo tram, like an actual... Do you mean the table behind you? That one? On the to be reviewed list, yes. Actually, that reminds me, yeah, the table behind me. There was a thing I wanted to show. I'll do it once I've stopped here. Stop at Chipotle. No, Chilcote. Chilcote. Sounds a bit like Chakotay. Cargo trams? I looked that up. I think it was quite a genius concept for the time. Yeah, basically like interurbans and things like that. Okay, so this is where we're gonna wait for the other train to pass. So, I want to show you something, which I wanted to show it later, but I might as well now. So, this came. Look, I'm so excited about this. If you didn't, yeah, you should be able to see that on there. So, there we are. Awesome, yes! It did take a while to arrive, but it's here. I haven't had the time to read it quite yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. I did have a flip through and it looks very well presented, and yes, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. You'll have to let me know what you think of it. I will, definitely. A book with actual paper? Haven't seen one of those in a while. Yes. Yeah. I know what you mean. But it's good for reference as well, because you can just have the book reference there, and then you can have what you're working on here without having to constantly switch back and forth. Let's see, where is our friend, the other train? Boris! Boris is arrived. He's just about, shall we say, 1.5 baseboards away. You should check your holographic library. Well, haven't read. I think it is the best start for a train model railroading library. Yeah, we'll see. Sure is. What was the book called again? Couldn't quite read that. Oh, sorry. It is called Whether You're Planning Your First... Oh no, sorry, that's the rear. It's called Track Planning for Realistic Operation, 3rd edition, Prototype Railroading, Concepts for Your Model Railroad by John Armstrong. Like the title. Yes. Remember that Eliza currently lives in 2046. Ah, yes, I had forgotten about that. Thanks. Lovely. Boris, where art thou? If only we had a caboose to make a nice cup of tea while we wait. That's why I brought up the Holo Library. Yeah. Ah. Ah, there we go. There's Boris, look! Oh, I think I've got my... Hold on, I need to quickly turn my debug features off. One moment. Luckily I only pressed the button a moment. One moment. There we go. Debug features. I thought I turned them off last time. I probably forgot. Very nice. Okay. Oh, and Boris even switched the switch behind him. Thank you, Boris. Very considerate fellow. I always say that, don't I? Well, that Boris, not the other one that you're probably thinking of. I'm on my second copy of the book. I used the first one so much I wore it out and it fell apart. Well, yeah. But that is part of the natural life cycle of a book, isn't it? I see. Well, well-used book is a heavy book. That could also be read in a very creepy way, I think. Why? I mean, like, I see. Well, a well-used book is a happy book, or something like that. Or more like, well, a well-used book is a happy book. Something like that, I think. Hollow library. Ah, now you see what I mean. A well-eaten cake is a happy cake, if the cake isn't a lie. True. Which technically, if you think about it, isn't that untrue, because if you eat the cake and it becomes part of you, because you've eaten it, then if you're happy because you ate the cake, then that means that the cake is actually happy. Do you have one of those? What did I just hear? Things that are best left understood. Of course, I sometimes listen to books. Yes, I listen to my books as well. They speak to me, you see. Is that what you mean? No, the creepy voice of whatever. Kangfango. Yeah, the sentence just seemed like it could be read in a creepy way, and so I did. A chocolate cake with asbestos frosting. No! If you want context, look at Kangofango's last stream. I think it was stream 123, if I'm not mistaken. I see. Didn't I tell you to not ingest asbestos? Yes, you did. Okay, everything's good. The asbestos frosting keeps the birthday candles from burning the cake. I can't really comment on that regarding any personal experiences with that. Have to keep a positive outlook and look on the bright side of things. Yes, that also applies to nuclear reactors. Definitely look on the bright side of things. Or rather, in the bright side of things. Always look on the bright side of things. Always look on the bright side of things. That's on the bright side of life, yes. Always look on the bright side of life. Or however that tune goes. I hope that wasn't too loud, because I know that whistling is quite directional with a microphone. It's been years since I've seen the film. I think one of the biggest contributions of that film is, but what have the Romans ever done for us? Well, you don't know just how safe 2046 reactors are. Oh, that may be, but still, if you look at the bright part of the reactor, if there is a bright part of the reactor, then, I mean, chances are that, well, it actually depends on what kind of thing you're looking through, if anything, that other kinds of radiation might also reach you. Who knows? When life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. I don't remember the tune. When you're chewing on life's grizzle, don't grumble, give a whistle, and this will help things turn out for the best. You'd be pretty dead. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said about the bright thing. Ah, is that the link to the song? Yeah. I have to pay attention. Like, for example, there's a 30 limit coming up there. If I'd listened to the song, I would not have seen the 30 limit coming up. And always look on the bright side of life. Unless it's a research reactor. Why do you mean, unless it's a research reactor? Do you mean because they have viewing ports that are designed to let you view it without hurting you, or? Those MFs are under at least 10 meters of water at all times. And then if the water flash evaporates, then you've got a huge explosion on your hands. Ooh, this is the pretty bit. Well, one of the pretty bits with the river where I took the thumbnail last time. Yeah, that's a bit I quoted. Your hands? Probably not anymore. So, how is everyone? I am me, which means that I am the way that I am, so that is how I am. Which is good. Looks like rotary snowplow has been through here. It does, yes. Control rods exist for a reason. Yes, they do. Controls rods. And I control yes, control rods, yes. Control rods screwed things up a turnable. Yeah, because they pushed the water out of the way, didn't they? Because wasn't it like the when the control rods were shoved down because of how they work, they had to push the water out of the way first or something like that, which then caused things to heat up too fast in that fraction of a second. Or am I misremembering things? I didn't look into it that much, but wasn't that part of it? That when they pressed the scram button, the control rods went in, but they displaced the water at the bottom, which was actually the thing that was keeping it from going, what's the word? Is it supercritical or something like that? Well, I forget what the exact term is. Material those control rods were made of caused issues. Yes, because of bad design. I was actually living in West Germany at the time. Oh, I see. Just don't use graphite for control rods. Why not specifically, if you want to get into it? Yeah, you say that's what caused it, but what about graphite caused it? Like, what about graphite is why? What about it? Yeah, graphite control rods. Yeah, but what about it caused the issue? If you know. Ah. Okay, there's a 20 coming up there and then a 40. Look, there's the line down there. I always like that when route set in a hilly place kind of loops back in such a way that you can see the line that you just went on or that you're going to go on a little bit down below. It's like a little preview or a little flashback, I suppose. Most of Chernobyl's control rods were made of boron tipped with granite. The control rods slipped into the reactor to slow reactivity. The boron slowed their reactions down, but the graphite tips initially increased the rate of fission. Oh, I see. Where did you get this information from? What is it called, the thing that, is it called a moderating agent or something like that? The things that are supposed to slow down reactivity? Or am I misremembering what that term means? Oh, actually no, I have heard of boron. Kango. Lion. Did a lot of reading on the issue. Yeah. I see. Yeah, because they didn't have enough cooling. Yeah, wasn't there a thing with the with the cooling turbines where they were running a test, but then they were running the reactor giving out more output than usual because of increased energy needs, and then when they had to, so they had to run a bit differently, and that's what caused some issues as well. Wigwags. Look, an actual car on the road that's actually driving. We were out on a field training exercise at the time and had to start monitoring for radiation and fallout. Yeah, I can only imagine what that must have been like. It was just a bit nerve-wracking, yeah. Like, yeah, I can imagine. Okay, we should actually stop back there. I think that we've now... Have we now reached the power plant? Not the power plant, the coal mine, I guess, if it is an actual mine. Yeah, coal mine. Bring them to the coal mine past Nanovic, of course. Where are we on the map at the moment, please? Up here, on that big island in the north. Nothing like a real-life nuclear disaster to get the old heart pumping in overdrive. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Passing through Nanovic, yes. Oh, I need to stop before the switch. Oh, right. I thought I'd... Oh, I see. Well, in that case, I may need to reverse a little bit. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reverse a little bit. That's right, I have to switch some junk to myself, yes. That island almost looks like a miniature Great Britain. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're right. That's the not so Great Britain. Oh wait, no, sorry, that might apply to the real one, who knows. Not necessarily, that's not necessarily true. It depends on what aspects of it you look at. That looks like a rabbit too, yeah. Guess Lily Cherno happened because of bad reactor design. Lesser Britain? Yes. Yes, Lesser Britain. That is what the name for the colonies was it not? Nanovic. PB. PB? Polar Britain, of course. Ah, there we go. Nanovic coal mine on the HUD. Also, Eagle, if you're still here, I really like how the phone lines, telegraph lines, whatever, how you've placed them so that they reuse the poles of the power lines. That's quite a nice detail there. Yeah. Bad reactor design, poor training, and even poorer documentation in the operation manuals. They knew about the issues in the design, but removed those pages from the manuals because they did not want that they could make a mistake in the design. Because they did not want they did not want it to look like they could make it. What do you mean? They removed those pages from the manuals because they did not want to admit, of course, that they could make a mistake in the design. Yeah. I mean, that... I feel like that sort of mindset has often been cause for disaster in human history. Whether you're talking about things like reactors or architecture or even politics, of course, is another really big one. I mean, but it's an understandable mindset, but not really one that anyone should have, especially not when in a position of power, which, if you're designing a reactor like that, I would definitely say that you are. But yeah, can't really do anything about that other than conduct tests on people, like psychological tests and things like that. But it's like conducting psychological tests on engineers when you've got a limited pool of engineers who are capable in those areas might not really work out that well. Yeah, because that's the most sensible and safest decision they could have made. Almost as safe as asbestos laying shower curtains or birthday cake candles. Yeah, true. They did not acknowledge that there was an incident until several days later, when other countries noticed that there was an overall increase in radiation in Europe. Yeah, an incident, yeah. Can you believe it? I actually managed to slow down this time. A bit too much, admittedly, but still. Huh, I didn't know about that. Well, yeah, but I mean, the USSR wouldn't really want to admit that that sort of thing happened. Yeah, and then of course that was paralleled in Star Trek 6, bringing it back to something a little bit more pleasant, with Praxis exploding. Okay, I finally arrived to the mine. I have to load all the gondolas with coal. I will have to shunt here as well. Switches are all mine to control, so it shouldn't be a problem. That seems a little power hungry, doesn't it? The switches are all mine to control, so there shouldn't be a problem. Okay. I know it wasn't intended that way. I know. Mine. Yeah. Wait, so is there enough space for the entire train to pass in through there, or do I have to do it in 2 cuts? How long is my train? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 cars, I think. I think that might just about fit. I'll try, and if it's too short, then I have to reverse out and run around and then do the other one from the other side. And even then they would not admit how bad it was. When you design a reactor, think of everything! Yeah, but that is always the issue with dangerous things. You can't think of everything, and when you do think that you've thought of everything, how would you know if you hadn't? Because you couldn't have thought of that. Because otherwise you would have already, and then you would have fixed it, and then you'd be in the same position that you were before. From your point of view, if you know what I mean. Good. Oh, that's a nice conveyor going down here. And if you can't be sure that you've thought of everything, the best solution is to not build reactors like that in the first place. Well, yeah, but then you get into that whole discussion. And then of course you get politics in that as well, and money and lots of things. Or when you discover design flaw while testing, don't just tear those pages out of the manual. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, they said. So Eagle, tell me, when you made the session rules to check for whether this train is loaded or not, did you put in a resource check for each car, or only for like the first and last one, or maybe only the last one, or maybe only a couple ones? because that's what I usually do. Usually I have 3, like 1 in the beginning of the train, 1 in the middle, and 1 in the end. Well, unless it's a relatively short train, but if it's a longer train, I usually have it like that. So that I have those 3, and then so technically the player could cheat by going fast and then slowing down to load that one, and then just a check for the industry. Oh, so does the industry not have any production of its own that it can replenish the coal if the player takes a long time to load? Only the cars whose numbers end in a prime number. That's funny. Yep. Okay, well that's a good way of doing it then. Usually I turned off production for the session. So if you turn, so the production, oh right, yeah, that's right, because the values of industries and things like that are saved in the session. I remember that I did that when with a nighttime session where I wanted the platforms to all be empty, which didn't quite work because there's a bug with the station asset that I was using, which always had one passenger turn the other way for some reason, but I suppose that is true. Okay, so it looks like I am going to have to split the train. Let's have a look back here. How many cars are missing? Quite a few. Okay. The one passenger turned away is unloaded one, which will disappear after some time. Well, with the invisible station asset that I was using, it was, as far as I remember, always there. Okay, so how am I going to do this? Well, I'm going to reverse a little bit. Actually, how far am I across those switches? Okay, like that. So I can't even run around the whole train here, so I am going to have to split it. So I'm going to reverse. And then if I couple onto the other end, then I might be able to do it a bit better. There might be enough space then. Mechanical, I thought that was my radio. Oh, the alright, I see. Sorry about that beep. Okay, let's see. It's nice that you actually have to do some proper switching here. Okay, have I cleared the switch on the other end? Yes, I have cleared the one that I wanted. Now just don't derail at the bumper. You should pull a few of the full cars along with you. Well, I could, but I need to run around anyway. And if I've got the loaded coal cars back there, then I'm going to have them on the front of the train, because I want to see if I have enough space to just load the train if I have the... Actually, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Might not be enough, actually. But I can always come out and put some on the other track if need be. Because otherwise I'd have to run around again. Trains are a great invention, aren't they? In and of themselves, yes. They make a lot of things more efficient. And make a lot of things possible. Unfortunately, they also make a few other things possible, which I was actually quite happy being really quite not possible. But all in all, I would say yes. What is that, Trainz? Well... No. Like, mostly warfare things. The industry that Trainz allowed for a lot of good things to be made, but they also allowed for the war machine to be so much more efficient and so much more optimized. So, if you think back to World War I don't think a war of that scale and with that power could have been feasible if the infrastructure that Trainz brought hadn't been in place, for example. And then, of course, you get to others as well. But I suppose that's the thing with any tool. You can use it for good and for bad. Without planes, trains... Nah. Yeah, right, I see. And automobiles, yeah. Okay, I am how far... I think I'm probably just not gonna have enough space if I try to load them like this. Okay. I'm gonna have to go out forward, then put some on the siding, then come back in, and then come back out and get those. I think the American Civil War was the first war that Trainz played a major role in. That could very well be. Well, see ya. Alright, bye-bye. Thanks for coming. Have a good night. Oh, right, you mean because I've got... Oh, right, yeah, because it's... Of course, I forgot that I had 2 tracks to load. I was thinking about this, like, as if I only had 1 track to load. That makes a lot of sense. Just put those 4 empties off to the end and push them up the right siding. Yeah, for some reason, I mean, my mind was so engaged with other things that I completely forgot about that having the other track. Thank you. Actually, I suppose I can do that here already. Tunnel vision. Well, in a way, yes. Thanks for attending this live stream. Oh hey, and the telegraph lines actually go down to the little hut there. That's nice. Okay, here we go. Stream title. There we go. Okay. Surely you had to decouple a few cars, stow them, couple them back up. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But can't quite see it on stream, but still. Polaris route showcase part 2. There it was. Surely what? No, surely. Surely you had to decouple a few cars to load them, couple them back up. And don't call me Shirley. Yeah, I thought of the same thing. Imagine if there was an advanced message pop of Rule for Trainz which also allowed for questions with multiple answer buttons. Roger. Yeah, Roger, indeed. Over. It's alright, you can tell me. I'm a doctor. You mean you can tell me in 2 hours? You might be able to make a guess in 2 hours. Or whatever the quote is. Okay, here we go. Return with the full load to Northport. Sure. Damage him, I'm a doctor, not a fill-in-blank. Not an escalator. I think that's one of my... I think one of the two favorite ones of mine No, my two of my favorites from that joke, versions of that joke, is "Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer," which is from the episode with Horta, Devil in the Dark, where he is told to use the silicon-based cement or something to patch up Horta. And the other one is "Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not an escalator," which is in, I think it's, hold on. Keep an eye on the train for me while I look this up. It was one of the ones with the Klingons where they weren't allowed to touch the woman on the planet because they got really mad about that. Something Friday? Friday's Child. There we go. That was the episode. Friday's Child. Where they're trying to get this pregnant woman up through the rocky, craggy landscape of California. No, some planet. And he says something like, and Bones has to help push her up or something like that. Give her support. Says, "Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not an escalator." "I don't know when we'll be able to land. Can't you at least make a guess?" "Not for another 2 hours." "You can't make a guess for another 2 hours?" "Accidentally sent that prematurely." "Kelly, what?" Nothing. Wheel slip. Makes sense. How heavy is my train? Weight and tow, 1,324 tons. Interesting, thank you. Callius 4. For what? That's my question. Also, Eagle, I like that you have this really quite steep grade coming out of the coal mine, because you knew that trains would be quite heavy coming out of here, so you knew that it would be a little difficult to actually get up without wheel slipping. That's clever. Callias 4, Fornia. I always wanted to take a coal train up a hill, so I made something like that. Yes. Because usually in most maps, my own included, the coal mine is at the top of the hill, so that you take empties up and full ones down. Because, well, the coal is usually mined in hilly territory, at least in the US. Here in the UK, a lot of coal was mined in the Midlands, I believe, which are generally quite flat, but yeah, so it is interesting taking a loaded coal train up a hill rather than down. A la Coalmint. Midlands, yeah. The Black Country, yeah, because of the coal. If I recall correctly. Black from all the coal dust? Probably. I've never been in the Midlands. But I want to visit. Probably on my way further north. And that is only half true. I would like to visit those places, but I would also like to be on my way to Scotland, so it's kind of half true. Like, it's not wholly true, but it is two halves of the truth which are both true, that don't necessarily add up to one full truth, depending on... It depends on which way you look at it. Eagle, if you want to take a fully loaded coal train up some hills, the Trainz simulator add-on, the Norfolk Southern Coal District, or whatever it's called, has some really quite steep hills with fully loaded coal trains. It's also quite difficult to get down some of those hills with a fully loaded coal train without speeding, which I have done offline. When I drove on that on stream, I did end up speeding and losing control of the train for a bit. Like, I was running with full brakes on, but at that time I was already too fast to actually be able to do anything about it. Until it leveled off and my train slowed down. Southern Coal District, yes. Good. Oh, that wasn't interesting. Oh, because of the 3D map, I see. I see. Oh no, wait, are those helicopter lines or airplane lines up there? Look, because look at the 3D map, you can see the blue lines over the top there. Interesting. There's also DRGW coal route. For trains or for Train Simulator? £6 right now. Oh, I see. Plane, yes. Ah. Has that been going in this session, or is it only for later sessions? As far as I know, there's only the US 3-foot gauge route, which is that. Yeah, the Clear Creek one. But I didn't remember that was... I don't think that was coal, though. Was it? I thought it was passenger and maybe a bit of logging, question mark? Slash boxcars? But I didn't think it was coal. What did you last say, sorry? I said that I think the Clear Creek was passenger, like the Clear Creek route was, for Train Simulators, passenger and maybe a bit of logging, although that might only be in the DLC for it. But I think it also has some boxcar, general goods things on it, or things like that. Yeah, the expansion. But I don't think there was any coal stuff on that route. Default. Ugh. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. I blew the horn and the truck immediately stopped. Where you going with those beats? I hope there's not anything secret hidden in those. £4, yeah. And the thing about that expansion is, I don't think it actually adds much, if anything, to the map. I know that it adds I know that it adds some industries to it, and it adds a little bit of rolling stock. But I don't think it really expands the map much. Maybe adds a few sidings or something like that to areas that are already on the map. Well, this will be interesting to see how well my brakes cope with this hill. Let's just try the dynamics out now while we've still got a little bit of leeway with the speed. Actually, my dynamics seem to be just about keeping me at the speed. That's nice. Mogul pack. Brand new, so undiscounted. It's 12 quid. Soldier Summit. Oh, Soldier Summit! Yeah, I do have that for Train Simulator. I did already play that on stream once, I think. Quid Great British Pound, yeah. Although I don't know where the quid slang came from. Although I suppose that's the case with a lot of slang words, isn't it? A bit hard to track down where they came from. Yeah, For the River 2. Yeah, but I don't think For the River has... I mean, I know it has boxcar traffic going through there, but I don't think that it has many actual industries on it. Yeah, D and R, GW, F7s and such. But yeah, you might be right. ST40T-2s on Soldier Summit. Can you post a picture? I think I know the ones you mean, but can you please post a picture? Well, I gotta go sleep. Good night, see you tomorrow. Bye bye, see you tomorrow. Good night. Comms ended. Right, good night. Yes, yes. Indeed. It's a bit strange that in Trainz, with the diesel locos, it's playing the same diesel motor sound for the dynamic brakes. I think. Because don't the dynamic brakes use the resistance from the train's movement to brake the train? And so you don't actually... you hear the electric traction motors, but not the diesel generator, because it's actually getting its power from the motion of the train rather than the other thing. Oh, those! Oh, right, of course. Yes, those were the ones. Those were the ones that I thought you meant. What does the T stand for? ST40T-2. Tunnel. Do they have a smaller loading gauge, or why does it stand for what does it indicate? It says tunnel motor. Or does it have to do with how the exhaust? Maybe something with the exhaust? To do with the exhaust? I don't know. Just guessing. In the link below the image. Can't really look at that at the moment. I've got to keep an eye on the train. Yes. Yes, I do have to keep an eye on the train. Good. Engines were choking in the tunnels. Ah. That makes sense. SD40T-2 and SD45T-2 were known as tunnel motors. The radiators were reversed to pull air in from the bottom and set the top. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Tunnel motor engines have a better air ventilation, stack air on the bottom and exhaust on top. Thank you very much. I learned something new about that. Hot air in the top of the tunnels and snow sheds could cause the engines to shut down. I see. Yeah, from overheating. Yeah, I gathered. Southern Pacific and subsidiary Cotton Belt and Rio Grande were the only railroads that bought them because of the large number of tunnels and snowsheds they had in the mountains. Interesting. Sheenan! Yes. What's going on? I'm waiting for the train, of course. Same reason SP used the cab forward steam locomotives. Yeah, because of the exhaust. Tunnels and snowsheds could asphyxiate the locomotive crews. Yeah, I wonder if that is a thing that they found out the hard way, or if that is a thing that they had planned for and then done correctly. Probably the former, because when it comes to the well-being of workers, at least in those days, there often wasn't that much forethought put towards safety. It's more like, oh, those people died that way. Well, I guess we can do something to stop them dying that way. Or at least getting really bad illnesses that way. Ah, I thought it went in that direction. What do you mean? Yikes, but true. Found out the hard way. The crews had to wear preemptive forms of the scuba SCBA that firefighters use now. Oh, I see. Yeah. It's always found out the hard way in those cases, or at least most of the time. Not scuba. SCBA. Scuba. Not scuba. 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 There we go. That's what I wanted. The train there. Because the line goes in that loop around there, and then the figure 8 like that. .45's coming up. Might as well just let it roll for a bit. Self-contained breathing apparatus versus self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Ah, that's what that stands for. I think I knew that many years ago, but I've never used that information, and so I forgot it, I think. But from what I've seen, the cabs of the cab forwards have among the most comfortable steam engine cabs. Yeah, I mean, you've got great view, you've got the controls right by your side, probably oil burning as well, so you don't have to shovel, just turn some valves. That makes so much sense! Walrus Bay! Oh look, there's another car! A real life simulated spawned car. Hello, car! Or van, I guess. Wait, is that a police vehicle? It looks like a police vehicle with those bars on the side. Or it might actually be an ambulance, who knows? Police ambulance! That's no sports car. Crews were wary of them at first, afraid that in collisions at grade crossings there was no protection in the front of the cab as in standard steam locos. Yeah, wasn't there a thing where when they switched to diesels, the crews some of the crews refused to work unless they could run them long nose forward? You know, like the I forget what it's called. Like the high hood in Transport Fever, where it's going backwards so that the long nose is going forwards. For all injured criminals. Alright. That is why many of the railroads ran hood units long and forward. That's exactly what I meant. That is exactly the thing that I meant. Thank you for confirming it. GP7? I think it was the GP7. General purpose 7, yeah. As far as I know, at least. I think that was correct, if I remember correctly. Chilcote. Past Chicote. Not Greyhound Motors. Aww. I thought it was Greyhound Motors. Yeah, I know. It's because it was on an old... Well, not old. It was on a coach. And I knew it of the Greyhound coach, so GM. I thought it meant Greyhound Motors or something like that. Question, why is Greyhound called Greyhound and not Greyhound? I don't know, maybe it's a British company originally. Or maybe the ones who founded it were British, and so they used that spelling. Humph. Humph? Really? You know, Eagle, I don't think I'm going to be able to do the second session today. Or the dog breed is always spelled with an E. Perhaps. But in that case, that would also be because it came from Britain originally, right? Yeah. I think it's because I took a little while longer with the thing, what is it called? With the loading, of course, yes, right. And also I've not been keeping to the things, to the speed limits. I wrote the times the sessions take to finish the inscription. Oh, I just looked at the metadata for it. This one is said to take around 20 minutes. Oh, I thought it said an hour and 20 minutes in the metadata. But maybe I just looked at it wrong. Maybe it yeah. I see. Maybe that is a thing. Maybe I just misread it. Come on. I know, that would be 80 minutes, I know. But I looked at the metadata. Please read next time. Yeah, that's true. I'd wanted it to already be open for... I wanted already the session to be loaded in all the assets for me, for when I start the stream. But yes. The dog breed is actually English Greyhound, shortened to just Greyhound. Ah, never knew. Maybe. Alright. Sure, I guess. Okay, so there's a 30 coming up soon, so might as well throttle back a little bit as it's flattening out. But then we're gonna go back up to 60 after that. Also, did you know there was a British bus operator called Western Greyhound operating in Devon and Cornwall starting in January 1998. The company sadly went defunct in 2015 and I never got to ride any of the buses. Oh well. And there's always a time limit on everything. Unless, of course, you are talking about an infinite amount of time, in which case there, by definition, is no limit. Unless, of course, you talk about lowercase omega, which, by definition, is the first number after infinity. US versus English, US versus UK English. My hair can turn grey, and your hair can turn grey. Yeah. Hair and hair. Yeah. Many did, anyway. I know I'm not really commentating much, but the sound of the locos is actually quite sedating, I feel. Hypnotic? Maybe a little as well. Yeah, if I either were otherwise inclined or wanted to make a joke, I could say something like, you will donate, but I just don't think it's hypnotic enough for that, unfortunate. The eh? What do you mean? Glad I saw that 40 in time. Funny how the audio just cuts out like that at a specific distance. I don't know, maybe there are. Maybe there are. I have no idea. But hey, you can get another sample if you want one. You've just gotta get your scoop ready. Eh? I can't hear you. You're too far off in the distance. And scoop. Oh, by the way, Will is 1961. It looks like this Monday's Minecraft stream will probably be moved to Thursday, just this week, because Emmy2 can't make it this Monday. So instead on Monday, I think I'm going to do a bit of Train Simulator, because it's been a while since I've done that. I'm going to post the announcement on Discord, probably tomorrow, or maybe on Monday morning or something like that. Just in case plans change, but yeah, that's the plan at the moment. Yeah, just for this week. So, will you then interrupt the stream? Maybe. No, Transport 2 next week. No, well, no. Transport 2 is Friday, not Thursday. Plans change. Yeah, they change. Yeah, that's still happening. Yes. Oops, never mind. I'm easily confused. No worries. Everybody mixes up days and days of the week and years. What year is this? You know that whole thing. Yeah. We're doing MC in my slot next week. No worries. Yeah, on Thursday. Yes. And then it turns out that I should have switched one of those other switches manually, and I've been going the wrong way this entire time. Which I doubt is true, considering we've passed several landmarks that are on the way back home, but still. That waterfall was a near perfect replica all along. That would be something. And then it turns out this entire time I've been sitting on my ready screen. Ooh, that would not be fun. Having to subtract 5 from all the times. I always forget if a stream starts at 15 or 1600. 1500 or 1600 for me. Yeah, it's... It's higher levels mathematics, I think. Higher level mathematics. But yeah, it's easy to get confused with time zones. And it gets even more confusing when we switch over from normal time to summertime, even though I think of summertime more as the normal time, and then back the other way when we're a few days or something ahead of the US, I think. Okay, there's a 20 coming up. So I'm going to apply some braking, because we are going downhill. And as we've learned previously, the brakes on this aren't the best. Yeah, when we make the time changes a few weeks apart, and it throws everything off. Yeah. I mean, personally, I would be happy with just leaving everything in summertime. That way it's bright a little bit later. And the fact that it gets bright, well, the fact that it gets bright a little bit later, I think is acceptable as a trade-off to it getting dark a little bit later. That's what I meant. On my Discord server, Kangacord, I do announce my stream using timestamps from Epoch Time Converter website. It's like that, meaning that it automatically converts it to everyone's local time zone. Interesting. Can't really do that in my Twitch images, but yeah. Although with the times, if well, it's 1961. If you go to the schedule page on Twitch, and I mean the actual default, the schedule page, not the image that has the times on it, then it should automatically convert it to your time zone as well if you go there on Twitch. I wish they would pick one or the other and just stick with it. At this point, I really don't care which one they pick. Yeah, there was, I think recently there were some talks about maybe just sticking with one, but I don't think that went anywhere. Yeah. What is it? Is it just twitch.tv/paradise/schedule or something like that? I hope I didn't need to switch these manually. I could be mistaken about that URL, but it's something like that. No /schedule. Oh, so it's just twitch.tv/paradise/schedule. Or what is it? Yeah, but isn't there a... Oh, I see, the address doesn't change. Oh, right, I see. But yeah, at the bottom, where you can click on chat, there is a button that says schedule, and if you click on that, then it'll show you a schedule with the converter times. Oh, hey, Boris is still here. Hey, Boris. How are things? How was your run? I trust you didn't have any issues with your onboard fish. I trust that you didn't have to have a blow-up doll and a guy who has a drinking problem bring you safely into the station. No? Okay, good. Good, good. Hey, I didn't even stop yet. Hey, no, don't give me the score yet. I need to stop. Eagle. That last check mark. It didn't wait for me to stop. There we go. Got a full score this time. Right. That was fun. Although I do have to say the sound of the engines mixed with the quite samey landscape of snow everywhere and the trees and things has made me zone out quite a bit in some instances, but also I'm a bit tired, so I guess that plays a part in it as well. But yeah, I enjoyed that. So, exit. And since I didn't read the description, I guess I'll do that now, just for completion's sake. Finally, a proper job, time to haul some cargo. Oh, there we go. No, look, it did say 1 hour, 20 minutes. Look up here, on the metadata, it does say 1 hour, 20 minutes. Because, I mean, that's what I thought when I thought about how many sessions to do. I thought this one takes 1 hour and 20 minutes, and the next one takes 40 minutes. So I thought together they would be 2 hours. Maybe it's just a typo in the way that the metadata is written. I don't know. Congrats, thank you. Actually, I can have a look at the metadata on my end. The advanced physics simulator calculated that you would stop at the correct spot. Yes, that's definitely what happened. Date, 2nd September, 1970. Oh wait, it does say 80 minutes. WTF, I got 120. Happens. Yeah, let me, I'm quickly gonna load it in because I do want to have a look at the session rule for the metadata to see if it maybe displays it differently on my end. I guess I either uploaded the wrong version. Who knows? Quickly want to have a look at it. Where is it? Oh hey, there's a lock all junctions rule. That's actually really quite useful, I think. Anyway, but that's not what I wanted to look at. Where is it? Ah, there it is, of course. Oh yeah, it is. Oh right, because it is only minutes. I seem to remember putting in each digit individually, but who knows? Or you were slow. Yeah, I think part of it is also that it is a little laggy for me, and in Trainz as well, I think the game slows down a bit if it's lagging, and so the time passes more slowly in-game. So that could also be a large part of it. Plus, a lot of the time, because I was zoned out, I wasn't quite keeping to the speed limit. I was below it a bit. But anyway, here we are. Yes, there we are. So that is that. Thank you all very much for watching. This live stream, of course, will be archived. The first episode of this is already archived. And that's that. So, bye-bye. See you tomorrow on Kango's stream, if you can make it. See you tomorrow for some Icelandic escort fun. Have fun reading your new book. I will. I'm quite excited about it. Bye-bye. Good night. Bye-bye.